MSNBC interviewed a bunch of Trump supporters about the growing economic disaster. GDP declined in the first quarter of 2025. Supply chain collapse is expected by summer. Wage growth is flattening. Trade has collapsed. And so MSNBC went and talked to a lot of these folks. And I'm going to play for you what they had to say. Some of them used religion to justify their faith in Donald Trump. Others said, we've already seen inflation. It's just going to be more. Let's take a listen, and then we're going to talk about it.
He's just a very funny man. You have to understand how he operates.
No president, nobody can come in and change things overnight.
I really believe
What's funny is Trump kind of did come in and change things overnight, for the worse.
I really believe that he's the one God's chosen.
I'm really very optimistic.
I know tariffs got everybody scared.
Tariffs, they don't scare me at all.
I'm willing, I think, to go through a little bit of initial pain.
We have to have some pain to have the gain.
I think that sometimes you have to go through a little bit of the fire to get to the end of the rainbow.
Nobody likes to pay more for anything. I don't. But in the long run, I think it's going to be good.
People are saying, oh, well, prices are going to go way up. We won't be able to do anything. Well, how was the last 4 years? My grocery bills were ridiculous. That was for no reason. This is for a good reason.
Even the great empires he's built in business, I trust that same savvy is going to be helping our country also.
My biggest issue is at the border, and he's killing it.
No open borders. The many millions running across the border. Now, if you look at it, the amount of documented people coming across the border, it's done in a very structured way.
It's just one of those things where you put yourself and you feel the empathy aspect of it, and you feel sort of, when you see a kid being pulled, and you're like, man, is there another way we could have did that?
I'm just thrilled that they are getting rid of the criminals and illegal aliens.
I'm not sure that all of them are real bad criminals, but if you come here illegally, it still makes you a criminal.
I do believe that people are criminals and they're doing the wrong things. They should be taken out of our country. But some of the family stuff, I was wondering some ways we could have handled that a little bit differently.
Listen to that. Where do you even start? You know, in my book, The Echo Machine, I talk a lot about, it used to be that the argument was over what the facts are. In other words, what are the facts as they pertain to a particular scenario? We have had to back off of that in the United States, where now we first need to establish what types of statements are even statements about fact versus statements of opinion. And we saw in the COVID era, for example, some people decide that facts about whether a drug does a certain thing are merely matters of opinion. And so we have a real crisis of thinking in this country. And as I sit and listen to these Trump supporters justify everything that he's doing without even really knowing how to justify it, right? At the end of the rainbow, this is going to be great. It's short-term pain and I'm willing to tolerate it. The follow-up questions are, how exactly is this all going to get us to a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? I think it's a pot of coal at the end of the rainbow that is really awaiting us. But these are folks that are in so deep in a cult, there's really no other way to say it, that I don't know that there is any way to really talk sense into them. And this is why when we see, I've said before, at an individual level, if you want to try to change the mind of, your crazy uncle at Thanksgiving, do it. But at a mass scale, we're not going to deprogram all of these people. And so the way to win is going to be by turning out our side and recognizing that 45% of the country doesn't vote. And without convincing a single one of these people, we can win just by getting more people out to the polls rather than by arguing with these folks. These folks strike me as probably too far gone. And I know no one is literally beyond reach, but it seems like these folks really are almost there. Here's another woman who said, "I've been paying higher prices, sweetie," to an MSNBC reporter.
Are you prepared to pay higher prices for goods?
I've been paying higher prices, sweetie, in the last, when Biden got in office, my groceries have doubled, my gas has doubled. No, I'm already used to it, I'm not used to
Are
it.
you prepared for more? We're looking at, with the tariffs, these are massive
no,
tariffs.
No, but it has to happen before it goes back down.
They have been sold this bill of goods. They've fallen for it. We need this. Now the inflation is worthwhile. Now the economic pain is worthwhile because there's a greater good and a greater goal which we're approaching here. Ask them to explain it to you. They can't, but they've fallen for it. I don't know how we deprogram them. I think we probably don't. And winning is going to depend on turning out new voters. That's my takeaway. Let me know what you think. info@davidpakman.com. Remember to make sure you are getting the daily audio podcast. If you're watching on YouTube or watching on TikTok or Snapchats, we do a daily audio podcast. This clip is part of it. You can get it on Apple, Spotify, and everywhere that podcasts exist. If you're at the gym, if you're out doing errands, if you're in the car, don't do the dangerous thing with the phone playing videos in the car. Please get the audio podcast. We'll take a quick break and be right back. After researching, writing, refining, The Echo Machine, my book, is finally out. This is not just a book about how American politics got so broken. It's also about what's happening right now and what we can still do to stop things from getting worse. Trump's been back in power. The results have been even more catastrophic than many feared, with targeting of political opponents and gutting democratic institutions, laying the groundwork to even further consolidate power. But the thing is that none of this is inevitable. The same forces that brought us here can be countered if we understand how they work and what to do about them. And that's what the Echo Machine is all about. Some say that without corporate media backing, books like this can't succeed. I think we can prove them wrong. You can get the Echo Machine right now at davidpakman.com/echo on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Audible, Kindle, or by calling any local bookstore and asking them to order it. This book is more important than ever. If you care about what happens next, and I do, check out the Echo Machine today at davidpakman.com/echo.